Welcome back. This is episode 3 of my Reflex introduction, and in this episode I'm going to talk about the game modes that are available right now. First things first, if you break up the console by hitting the tilde key, which is just to the left of number 1, then you can type in call vote. Call vote is a command that lets you vote for something that other people can vote yes or no on. So you can call vote kick a player, you can call vote remove somebody who's playing so that they are forced into spectator mode, you can call vote to new map, and you can call vote mode. Call vote space mode lists what the options are. There is free-for-all, 1 vs 1, team deathmatch, arena free-for-all, arena 1v1, arena team deathmatch, and race. So basically these are split up into 2 different modes. Ones in which there is you're going to start out with all weapons, have a fair bit of ammo, full health and armor, that sort of stuff. Those are the arena modes. And then ones in which there are pickups on the ground. So there are weapons on the ground, there are mega health, armor, and all this stuff is here. So anything that starts with an A, they actually remove all these items from here. You're not going to see them. For example, if I do this, boom, they're all gone. No items on the map. So, to talk about them, Arena, all of the arena modes have this mechanic where you start out fully loaded. As you can see, I have a good bit of ammo, weapons, health and armor. Whenever I die, I'm going to be out of the round until the next round begins. So this is a survival thing. In Arena Free-For-All, there are no teams, it's simply the last person alive wins. Which is a little silly in my opinion, because if you hide, you're going to do well. But whatever the case, the other modes are Arena 1v1, in which you'll have as many people on the server as you want, only 2 people will be playing at a time, and whenever somebody wins, he stays, the loser goes back to the end of the line. And then Arena Team Deathmatch, if you go to this, you can hit escape, choose which team you're on. Whenever you do that, then you'll see the scoreboard is split up into Alpha and Zeta. And ideally, whenever you're playing this, if you're having close rounds, you want to make sure that you don't jump into a game whenever it's 3-on-3 and then you join a team and it's now 3-on-4 and your team is going to win every single time until somebody joins in. So try to look at the scoreboard and make sure that it's not going to force teams to be uneven. People do appreciate that. Any of the arena modes are pretty good for practicing combat, because whenever you have all these weapons available to you, you get used to the things that are available, you learn the map geometry, and you don't have to worry about spawning with a really crappy weapon. So it's pretty much a good idea to jump into any arena-style map, game mode, play, get used to the game, learn how to fight. Next episode in this tutorial series, I'm going to be talking about the weapons, so that's whenever we'll talk about proper fighting technique and certain things that are advantageous. But for now, just hop into an arena server or call vote to an arena mode. I kind of recommend ATDM, Team Deathmatch. I think that's probably the best way to go, because you learn about well, the team modes. How can I put this? One of the most important things in team modes is sticking near your teammates so that you can do as much damage as you can while somebody's focusing on somebody else. You can learn a lot about, say, like, your teammate and enemy are fighting down there, and you don't need to worry about dodging as long as nobody's behind you. So you can just learn how to destroy him with aim. And believe it or not, that applies a lot in 1v1 too. Because even if you're dueling somebody, there might be times where he's simply trying to run away from you, and you don't want to be sitting here dodging, getting into these weird habits of like, oh my god, I have to not get hit, he's not even facing you. So it is important to learn that sort of stuff as well. I do like ATDM. I think AFFA is a little bit silly because, like I said, if you hide, you're going to do well, which is kind of counterproductive to learning how to play the game. A1v1 is good, but it can be dominated by better players, so it's a little bit questionable. So, for the modes of gameplay that are not arena, there is free-for-all, 1v1, team deathmatch. Pretty much exactly what you would expect. In free-for-all, As many players as you like are going to be in here, hopping around, grabbing items, picking up things, killing each other. All the weapons will come back 10 seconds after they've been grabbed. All the armors and healths will come back 25 seconds after they're grabbed. So you're going to spend a lot of time not armored up and just running around shooting at people. Some people will be, other people won't be. Most frags at the end of 10 minutes wins. It's pretty simple. There's also a Carnage power-up down here, and this one quadruples your damage. And if you die, then it's dropped on the ground, and whoever killed you can pick it up. So always keep an eye out for that. 1v1 is probably the most competitive mode in the game. You'll find some of the highest end players in this mode, and there are a handful of tournaments, surprisingly. Even though this game is alpha and just came out of pre-alpha like 2 months ago, there have been, I don't know, like 3 or 4 tournaments in the last couple weeks, which is pretty awesome. A couple of them had money involved. A lot of them, if not all, have had streams on Twitch TV and broadcasts on YouTube that you can watch. There's some great gameplay in there. Players like AZK, Sane, HAL9000, Memphis. It's quite a lot of talent up at the high end of this game. And the 1v1 modes are full of players who have been playing this for years. So if you're going to go into 1v1, I might recommend for now you find somebody around your skill level and practice with him rather than just hopping into a server, because you're more likely to find somebody who either knows a lot more than you or doesn't know nearly as much as you. And those games get quite one-sided. Scores of 40-0, 60-0 are very common. Negatives, you know, if you die in the lava or kill yourself with an explosive, you're going to get a negative frag. It's a little demoralizing. So 1v1 is not the best way to get into the game. I'd recommend the arena modes and free-for-all. The other mode, TDM, you can, same thing, change teams, and you're not gonna, if I was past warm-up, I would not be spawning with weapons and armor. So this mode right now doesn't get played much in the US. I don't think it does in Europe right now. I suspect that if the game's popularity grows, we'll see some more competitions where there are actual team play games going on. Also, the developers have talked about bringing Capture the Flag to this game pretty soon. So that's something that's exciting. Capture the Flag would be an excellent mode for a game that has so many cool physics and little tricks you can do. So hopefully that'll come out soon. I'm not sure what the timeline is on that. And then if you notice, there's one last mode in there, Race. Race mode is a mode in which a map editor who has made a map can place a starting location and an end location. So I believe this is the finish line. Let me check. No, that's a start. So whenever you pass through this, it's just how fast can you go from there to there, and you can choose your route on a map like this. But if you go to a map like what was it, RR Cup 5? Yeah, RR Cup 5. This is one where actually, RR Cup 3 is a little bit better for this. That one's more rocket jumping. Was it 4? Been a while since I've looked at these maps. Sorry for derping around here. Huh. I'm confused. There was one of these that was really good for just a simple little route. Could have sworn it was 3, but I guess it was not. I will post that in the comments whenever I find that map. I'm not going to mess around any further here. But these maps, there's basically a start line whenever you spawn, and then you can jump through these. These ones are pretty hard, require advanced movement where you're going to need to know what to do. You can rocket jump on them. And there will be a finish line actually at the end of the map, so it's a set path. And the race modes are pretty cool because they do keep track of everything that you've done, your personal records, whenever you're playing this. And then whenever other players are on the server, if you shoot at them, your rockets go straight through them. You cannot hurt them. You cannot push them back. Your own rockets knock you back, but other players' rockets don't affect you at all. So as far as you're concerned, you can see them, you can hear them, that's it. Cannot interact with them. You can just race. And you hold the scoreboard, and it'll show you no finish for me because I haven't finished this one, but it would show other people, you know, who have finished the map, their times, their best time rather. So the race mode is pretty handy. It's nice for just learning the physics if you can find a good map. Right now, I think most of the maps are actually more on the upper tier, I'll say. That reflex jump that I talked about, this actually does have a race route set for it. You'll find people who can do this in, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. So I'm not going to go through this now because I've not really practiced this, but yeah, it's keeping track of my time there. So race mode's neat. If you see a server on race mode, just be aware that you're not going to be hurting anybody else. You'll be messing around with the physics, and that's a good time to ask some of the better players, how do I do this jump? Because they're the people who've been playing for a long time, and they'll be able to help you out. Community is actually pretty nice. It's small, but you'll find a lot of people who are very willing to spend some time with you. So that ends the 3rd episode, and next episode I will be talking about the weapons, pickups, health and armor system, all that sort of stuff. So, thanks for watching.